You're looking at a Google Earth image of a specific location within Luzerne County. A location with something hiding in plain sight. Do you see it? If not, let me bring it in a little bit closer. Do you see it now? As we take away the trees, we can see a structure along the river, and I need to find out what it is. If you'd like to see what we find, all you need to do is come along with me. First things first, we need to scale down this embankment and make our way right down there. Easier said than done, but I'll get myself down there safely and we'll pick up somewhere right down there. Oh, watch your eyes. All right, we're down safe and sound. And what we came down to is an old rail line. This was part of the DL&W, Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Railroad. It went to a yard area back there, and the area we're going is right there up in that direction. Now this line continues all the way down past Nanticoke, going through Chickashinny and Berwick, and down in those parts, it's a rail trail listed as the Susquehanna Warrior Trail. So this is the same trail, it's just an unfinished area. I believe it will be converted into that at some point. And looks like today it's just ATV path. But we do have a tunnel we're gonna go through, and as we saw, this structure is located right next to this rail line. So the only thing we could presume is that this had something to do with the railroad during its operating days. Won't take long at all to find this structure. It should just be a couple hundred yards ahead. But before we get there, I do want to share a few details because I did do some scouting on the old maps prior to coming here. So what I can tell you is that this structure has been here since at least the 1930s. I don't know when it was built. Maybe we'll find a build date, but 1939, it clearly shows up on the map, located right next to the rails and the river. So it has me conflicted. Was it involved with the railroad operation, or was it something with the river, or both? We don't know that yet. Hopefully we'll find out. Jump ahead though to 1950, structure's still there. Not much has changed since then. But then we go to 1973, and that's the most detailed, clear photo of the structure that we have. It's nice, clear, and visible, and we got a good picture of it and its location, and we can see it looks like it has a roof on it, which it did the entire time. Now this is where things get a little bit interesting and tricky, because jump ahead to 1992, not as clear of an image, but it appears that the roof is still there, as far as we could tell. But then we jump ahead to 2005, looks like the roof is gone. Looks like an open cavity. So the roof may or may not still be there. It may have been gone earlier than 92. So those are not really super important details, but it's stuff that stood out to me when I was doing the research. But I did bring my measuring device, my laser measuring device, so we'll be able to get some measurements of this building, and hopefully we can get inside of it. But I'm ready to find it, so let's head through this tunnel, locate it, and explore it. So keep coming. Echo! This is not an original tunnel, obviously. It's pretty modern. And it looks like someone's been trying to keep warm in here or discarded some items. Burning trash. The unfortunate part of this area is that this area is known for littering and dumping. There's signs all around here, no dumping, cameras in use, trying to deter, because everywhere you look, there are things discarded. There's tires there, there's random stuff here. Up where we came down, there's a couch up there. So it's not the most pleasant looking area. Hopefully it'll change once they do convert this officially to the Susquehanna Warrior Trail. But this would be a nice addition though, to be able to ride through here on your bike, or to come walking at least. But tons of graffiti, not a surprise. Everything from cans of Chef Boyardee, soda cans, bottles, sandals. This wouldn't be a bad place to take shelter during a storm. kind of cooler in here right now, obviously. There's a little bit of an airflow coming through. But at least you're dry in here. And unfortunately, none of it is good graffiti. It's all the typical garbage you see at locations. Sometimes you come across a talented artist that makes something that makes you stop and take a picture of it at least and be like, wow, that's really well done. Not there. Seems like a lack of talent, although I can't do any better. I'm about a stick figure art level. So, road's above us there. We're obviously on the other side of it, so that allowed us to pass under. Susquehanna River is off to our left. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I do see the building up ahead. So, yeah, this is going to be a really easy one to get to. One of my simplest Google Maps finds I've done in a long time. My most recent one of checking an old body of water near the turnpike, that was a bit more arduous. This can be a walk in the park. Just look where we came from. And as I spin around, and if I zoom in, do you see it? Just inside the tree line, right over there. It's like even part of a vehicle here. What is that? Is that like a truck bed? I think it is. At least get some scrap value for that. Be foolish to leave it here. Just noticing right there, that square rectangle block, it looks a little bit too perfect to be natural. I wonder if that's an old support or base for a signal or a post for the railroad days, which would have came obviously right here where we're walking. I think someone put that here for maybe cats. It's full of hay and straw in there. Nobody in there though. So as we're approaching, what are your thoughts as to what this was built for? Do you think it's for the railroad that we're walking on? Do you think it's for the river? Do you think they're harnessing water from the river for the railroad? Honestly, could be anything. My gut instinct though is telling me that since it's so close to the railroad, that it had something to do with that. Whether it was part of servicing the railroad or it was serviced by the railroad. And from what I could tell from here, the roof still might be on it. Maybe the map images were a bit deceptive. Let's get closer, we're almost there. Wouldn't be surprised if they drilled and blasted this rock face here for the creation of the rail line. And you can see there's businesses right on the edge of it. And it looks like parts of the river are starting to freeze up a little bit. Not frozen solid yet. Okay, we're approaching. And as far as I can tell, I think we're gonna be able to get inside. And it definitely has a roof. All right, we have arrived and we 100% have access. Here it is. As mentioned, it's a good sized structure. It's not a switching tower like we've seen before, but for the proximity of the rails, I'm about 95% sure it was involved with the railroad for either offering services to the railroad or getting deliveries by the railroad. Well, like usual, I'm gonna go over scout it out first, see what our best plan of action is gonna be, see what we're dealing with, and then I'll come back and get you, so hang tight. As we could tell already, primarily made out of brick. It's a concrete base. It's like a concrete roof. Oh, wow. Okay, this is not what I was expecting. Holy cow. So the floor is practically missing, and there's like a floating staircase made out of concrete, and it drops down roughly 2 or 3 stories. This is a bit sketchy. And I don't know if I'm daring enough to walk those steps because I do see a fracture. All right, we're gonna have to make some smart decisions here since I'm by myself, and a fall in there could be deadly. You know, before we go any further, let's walk around the perimeter, see if we have any clues as to maybe its operation. Inside though is not what I imagined, but even if we can't get down there, I do have a way to give you some great views of it anyway, so we'll make it work one way or the other. I am 100% perplexed as to its use. The only thing this resembles is one of the structures at the old Avondale mine site. Yeah, so there is a whole bottom level. So from what you could see here, in the middle, it's all open right down to the bottom. And it is at river level. So like again, maybe it had a part to play in water, maybe not. Looks like maybe a loading dock here. It's hard to see, but there is a platform there. Could have been a siding coming right to this. Do you see, like, it looks like conduit up there too. There's 3 holes coming out of the brick. I'm gonna try to scale down here and figure I'd keep you rolling. There's a good likelihood I'm gonna fall or not stop sliding. Well, this is a big structure. And the backside of it here yields some more clues. Here we are, the mighty Susquehanna River. And with the location of this river level definitely breaches where I'm standing. And from what it looks like is that it has some built-in supports to fight against the high waters, I believe. But I'm noticing a few other clues. This is a good one. This has me stumped. And I don't want to sound repetitive. I'm just actively saying what's going through my head. Noticing a few other details too. There may be even I don't know if that's a sub-basement. No, it's just some water lying right there. But what I'm noticing though is these steel beams coming right out. I thought they were tracks, but they're not. They're I-beams. Why would they be protruding out of the wall like that? And I could be incorrect, but these steps, what I'm calling steps, basically supports for the wall, could serve for 2 purposes. One, for high water and any debris that comes up here to kind of protect the building. The other thing is, if depending on what was inside, maybe support against the wall so they don't, I guess you could say, buckle out. I could barely get the whole building in the frame of the camera, but as close as I could get, I'm gonna walk up to it and show you size proximity compared to me, 5'11". It looked like somebody from Munchkin Land, the Wizard of Oz, standing next to this. Here's just a look with me standing on these giant steps here. All made out of concrete. Well, I guess the only thing we could do, is that a snowboard down here? Is either a snowboard or a skateboard down here. Only thing we could do now though is go around the other side and then head inside. Actually, no, it's not a skateboard or a snowboard. It is a door, a car door, complete with a speaker in it. Oh, it's off of a side-by-side Wolverine R Max. Just noticing a few more clues here. A piece of concrete, the pipe coming out, and then a concrete pipe right there, just laying there next to the foundation. Is there any supermarkets missing their shopping cart? Got one right here. Looks like it was sunk with the Titanic. Old and rusty. Ready to see the inside? Here's just a quick look from up here where we just were. You ready? Down, down, down it goes. Whew, that is a drop. And I'm getting a little sketchy just standing here. Now, I don't know if the floor came all the way across or not. I don't think it did. And I don't know how comfortable I feel walking on that, but this looked pretty solid and safe. Because even right beneath where I'm standing right here, it's hollow. And there's all types of junk down there. There's concrete down there, shopping carts, a bed liner. But it doesn't tell us right off the bat, what was this building used for? Do you see some light fixtures? It had power. So it was illuminated. With it being this deep, were they bringing water in from the river? Do see some various piping down there as well, coming out of the walls. So water may have played a part. What is that? I thought it was like a golf cart down there. I don't know what that is. Now, obviously people have been down there. And for some people, probably a lot of people, they won't be sketched out by this. It'd be just a walk in the park. But given that this is at least about a 20-foot drop, well, I have some reservations about dropping down 20 feet. Again, the concrete steps kind of floating there, they do look for the most part intact, but right there, let's see, right below the letter E, there is a big crack or fracture. I mean, I've seen worse at Concrete City, but at least there you're only going to fall one story for the most part. There is concrete supports underneath here, so I think this is pretty safe. Although I am extremely nervous knowing that it is a big drop. Like right by the windowsills, I have to jump through the window if I had to. So this is like a alcove area. Looks like something was mounted here. So as we saw on the outside, the conduit, it's coming through the inside here. There's various pipes and bracketing on the ground here. So I'm thinking maybe some machinery was mounted here. I don't like this one bit though. I'm sure there's people that could probably walk around the whole edge of this place. It's a pipe coming right through the roof. You know, I really do want to get down there because I think we need to kind of look around. I don't think this is hollow beneath me here. What do you think? What would you do? I know some of you would be down there already. Some of you are probably saying, Jay, play it safe. It's not worth it. All right, against my better judgment, I'm gonna go down the steps. I feel confident enough. I think I could do it. I did psych myself out originally, but as long as I take it easy, don't do any jumping on it, I think I'll be okay. I'm gonna be rolling with you guys up there, showing down. I'm gonna have my 360 camera with me, giving you a view of the way down as well. And I do have my measuring device. We're gonna get some measurements across both directions and then from bottom to top. It'll tell us roughly how big this building is. I just want to put my backpack over here somewhere. Cross your fingers for me, guys. I am a nervous wreck, but I'm willing to try. If I feel these shaking or cracking or wobbling or anything, I'm out of here. Okay, if I was to fall now, it's not going to be detrimental. All right, made it. Before we explore down here, which there's a little bit of everything down here, let me get some measurements first. I want to measure from this wall to that wall. It's going to do it from the base of this device, so I'll get it here. Laser's right there. 28 feet across. Let's go this direction here. It'll tell us if it's a square or not. 24 feet across, so not exactly a perfect square. So from the floor, which is uneven, to the roof, I'm gonna give a guesstimate first. We'll see how off I'm gonna be. Let's see. I'm gonna say about 30 feet. So I'm gonna get a relatively flat spot on the floor, gonna go in between the beams up there to the very top of the roof, and that'll tell us. Okay, I got a good spot here. Let's hit it. 37 feet. I was off by 7 feet. Taller than I thought. So we had 28 by 24 by 37. I'd say that's a decent sized building. So since you guys are up there, I have my camera rolling down here. We're gonna investigate down here with this camera. There's quite a few things down here. Everything from shopping carts, looks like a vehicle engine, possibly part of a vehicle. All right, I left my flashlight up top, but there's a cavity here. I'm gonna stick you guys in there and see if we see anything. Looks like that might be under the alcove or vestibule area up on top, like a concrete room. All right, so piping, more piping up there. There's the crack of the steps, which is, now I can see it's not all the way through, so it looked worse from a distance. Looking underneath it, it's not cracked, so that is a solid staircase. So that's not going anywhere anytime soon. Comes down to a platform. Now, it makes me wonder, would this be underwater ever? That I don't know. And looks like something may have been mounted down here. We do see some bracketing and bolts there. There's some other things there. It looks like some conduit running through. There's a big pipe right there. So did this fill up with water? And then they're able to send water out to maybe a filling station for locomotives? This I think is a side-by-side or a golf cart. You know, what is this? Oh, this is yeah, it's a side-by-side. This is the passenger area. They got the ship bars to hold on to. Driver's compartment would be over there. This is completely stripped though. Even like a glove box right there. So, frame of a side-by-side and an automotive engine as far as I know. Or maybe out of a small piece of equipment like a bobcat or something, skid steer. I don't know if you have any idea what you think that's from. Or any details you could share, let us know. Looks like it hooks up to the transmission right there. Yeah, I don't know. I would say a small piece of equipment possibly. 1, 2, at least 3 shopping carts down here. There's another piece of concrete pipe right here. So here's a capped off pipe here on the floor. There's doors, looks like a bed liner. And boom it goes. While you're up there, take a look at that pipe, see if you see anything. Watch Pennywise come out and grab it. Well, we learned all you have to do is insult him and he'll go away. This is a fascinating find. I don't know what we found, but I am glad we found it. Now there is one thing that I could share with you, just to be completely transparent and honest. There was a viewer of mine who did reach out to me, I think last year, telling me, or actually sending me a picture of the inside of this saying, hey, have you ever checked this out? I'm like, I don't think I have. And he gave me a rough idea where it was. I did the rest of the investigating from there as far as pinpointing it, getting the old maps and stuff like that. So this is a true Google Maps find, but it was brought to my attention by a viewer previously. With that being said, I think we checked it out as best we can. We could ascend out of here and hopefully make it in one piece. What a cool location though. Definitely going to require your input for this one because I don't know what we maybe are dealing with here. You know, even noticing here, this conduit coming through the wall, there's wires in it. So electricity was needed here for some reason more than just lighting, I believe. Feels good to be on solid ground again. I'm definitely glad I pushed myself a little bit. I know I almost talked myself out of it from my initial impression. And I know many of you are rooting me on saying, Jay, you could do it. It's not that bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought. I think the worst part was just walking over there. And once I knew it was pretty solid, it was the right decision to go down. See it for ourselves, get the accurate measurements. 24 by 28 by 37. What would require a building this size? Do I think water had a part to play? I think absolutely. Whether it was harnessing water from the river or something else. And what part did it play with the railroad? The only thing that comes to mind, although this is not your traditional water tower, is harnessing water for the railroad for a filling station. But again, this is not traditional what you would see. Usually it's just a base with a tank on top with a spout for filling the old steam locomotives. Maybe this had something to do with related to mining activity. The one thing I did learn, thanks to a viewer, which did confirm it with me because I had my doubts as well, is I filmed the area down in Pottsville of the old St. Clair colliery site. And there was a building which we presumed to be the pump house. But a viewer of mine who specializes in water management said that most likely it's not the water or pump house because it's too far away from the source of water. It's up too high. Usually you don't want to have to bring water up to a pump house. You want to be able to have it almost at ground level. So being the fact that this is almost ground level with the river makes me think that it was taking water from the river, whether directly or underground. And they may be able to control the flow inside, have steps coming down to do inspections or maintenance or whatever it could be. Beyond that though, I am kind of dumbfounded. This is one of my better Google Maps investigation finds. One that we may or may not get answers to, but I know many of the viewers have come through before. I'm hopeful that someone's gonna have either pictures or an idea as to what this was for. This reminds me of a few different things. Like I said, Avondale Colliery House has buildings similar to this, just not as big and deep. Also, it resembles like a treatment plant where they could go down and like a desilting basin almost, go down to clear out things. We don't know what was occupied in here as far as machinery equipment, but anyways, I don't think we could really find out any more details by just talking about it. So I am definitely looking forward to the feedback from the viewers. We'd love to hear your thoughts and hopefully appreciate not only my efforts of going down there, but giving you the views with both cameras and the measurements, really documenting this place the best way that I can. And I think we came the perfect time of year as well with the snow on the ground. We're the only ones here and it's super easy to get to. So this was a huge home run for, actually, what am I doing? I'm doing a check mark, a huge home run for a video exploration adventure. So I'm going home a happy camper. Anyways, take care, thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video.